Those of you who follow me on Twitter, at Academy Aibo, go follow me immediately, will have seen me recently posting about the Digimon card game. If this is your first time hearing about the game in this video, I'm going to talk about why I'm so excited for it, and why you should be too. When I want to start a new card game, there are two major things I look for. I know up front that I want to play at a highly competitive level in any TCG that I start, so the first of these two things are tournaments. Now, at the moment, we have no confirmation of this for the Digimon card game, but as it's a Bandai game and they're kind of a big fucking company, it's a safe bet that we will get some. There's also the precedent with the Dragon Ball Super card game. So with that hurdle out of the way, the next thing I look for is something about the game that really grabs me. Now, in Yu-Gi-Oh! It was the explosive power that you were able to get out of just a single card and the remarkable consistency. In Buddy Fight, first it was the gauge resource, which until now I consider to be a peerless resource system. In fact, resource systems are so important to me that I refuse to touch a game, or at least not play it on more than a casual level, if I don't like the look of the resource system. This is why this is one of the reasons why I won't touch Vanguard with a 50-foot barge pole, and the only reason I will not touch Magic with a 50-foot barge pole. So, when I say that the Digimon card game probably has the best resource out of any card game in existence, well, that's a pretty big fucking claim, and it's one I hope I can substantiate. So let me introduce you to the memory gauge, which you can see on the screen. The way that Digimon works is wonderfully simple. Every card has a generic cost, and to play any of the cards, you simply move your counter along the gauge. So you can consider this gauge to go from +10 to -10, where -10 is dipping into your opponent's side, and obviously it's flipped for your opponent. The second you cross over into negative territory, your turn ends, after resolving any abilities and attacks, of course. But the beauty of the system is the flexibility that it grants you. Do you want to play a crazy 10-drop beat stick turn 1? Go for it. Your opponent will be starting their turn on +10 though, and that's probably not very good for you. Equally, you can be super conservative and only go to -1. It's worth saying that passing a turn will set the gauge to -3, so you'd usually want to avoid doing that if you can. This restricts your turn, but it also restricts your opponent's, obviously ignoring the effects of any tamers or Digimon on the board. Watching some gameplay really hammers home just how amazingly elegant this system is, and I highly recommend that you do so. In fact, getting into the game is going to be the remainder of this video, how you do it, so stick around. Also, if you like what you see, please hit that red button and give me a sub, it'd be amazing. Okay, so the remainder of this video is going to have a few sections. The first is going to be an explanation of the product, the rarities, and hopefully give you some sort of indication of the prices. After that, I'm going to link you to some excellent resources, which I hope will help you learn the game and be up to date on the news. And finally, I'll give you a really quick rundown of what each kind of deck or colour does, so you can get a feel for the kind of stuff you might be interested in. So we'll get started with the rarities. Each set has commons, uncommons, rares, super rares, alt arts, and secret rares. A case is 12 boxes, and each box contains 3 SRs at the least. 3 SRs and at least 1 alt art or secret rare. On average, a case will have 3 to 4 copies of each secret rare, as they have a relatively boosted pull rate to alt arts. So these cards will probably be a little bit more expensive, but nothing too crazy, hopefully. This is the Japanese version though, and our first two sets are a little different, as they are the size of 1.5 Japanese sets. Our 1.0 and 1.5 sets are a combination of sets 1, 2, and 3 from Japan, which is a bit weird, but sure. And it's worth saying that the sets will also have an equivalently boosted number of cards per case. You get more cards per pack, and presumably more foils per box. It's also worth noting that there are box topper promos, 1 full art tamer promo, this is just a reprint of a card in this set, and 1 2-card promo pack containing 2 from a set of 6 promos that will always come in the same sets of 2, meaning that a case will give you a playset of each of these promos. Those are not in the set, by the way, and, well, some of them are quite good. In addition, you'll also be getting dash packs, which is 1 per 12 packs that you buy. The content of these dash packs is, at the time of this recording, unconfirmed. I bring this up as it is highly likely these promos will be very good, or at least some of them, and we already have confirmation that some of them are quite good. And Bandai tends to do this with their card games, so a lot of value is going to be found in these promos. Overall, the game is probably quite a good one to invest in sealed product for, but I'll still be going with singles. And there are also 3 starter decks with 3 more on the way, which contain exclusive cards and come with a pack each, justifying their boosted price. They'll pretty much all be worth getting though. As a final note, the UK prices for these are confirmed to be £10 for a starter deck and between £75 and £80 for a box, though this is likely to change once we move on to set 4 because obviously you will be getting less stuff in each box. Okay, next I've got some useful links for you. Okay, so useful resources. First is the official rules manual. Obviously this is going to explain how to play the game. I know this is a pretty dry way to start, but it's what I tend to do. So I'll leave a link to this in the description, and of course links to everything I talk about here will be in the description. If you want to watch some really well explained gameplay, then I recommend you check out this channel, Rust Marrow. It's a little bit cringy, but an excellent explanation and a really, really good way to get a feel for the game. Say what you will about the cringe content, the cringe factor of the content is high quality. Next, if you want news, then simply hit that red button and subscribe to the channel, and drop a like on this video to let me know that you want some Digimon content. You can also check out Digimon Card Network for pretty much instant updates on news in article form. If you want to get ahead and read pretty much every single card printed for the game thus far, then I suggest the Digimon Card Dev Library. This is really simple to use. You want to see what sets are in which what cards are in what sets, you can just click and you can have a look and you can read literally every single card. All typeset in English. You'll notice these are not the official English cards, these are fan done, and I must say done fantastically well. Finally, if you want some topping deck lists, then once again, Digimon Card Network is the way to go, and you simply go to tournament results and you can scroll through and have a look there. They have done a fantastic job at collating all of the Japanese results and doing some excellent analysis in video form here as well about the early stages of the game. Finally, here is your very quick and very brief, and I should stress not at all comprehensive rundown of what each of the major decks does at the time of this recording anyway. So there is firstly Yellow Shine Greymon. This is a hard control deck that has a powerful field wipe based on your number of tamers. It's a weak early game as a hard control deck should be. Then there is Purple Piedmon. This is basically a weenie rush deck with the sort of 1-for-1 removal effects that you might expect, and on destruction benefits that you would typically expect from the purple and black colours in another card game. Then there is the Ulforce Combo OTK. This is another tamer-based deck, though this one is centered around a top end that is able to get an additional attack out for each of your tamers. It is very consistent, as one of the tamers will draw them an additional card each turn, and the other will grab anything of your main evolutionary line from the top 3 on play. And being blue, you also have the option to go into Omnimon. Speaking of Omnimon, there is Fast Blue Omnimon. This is the big Omnimon-centered deck focused on digivolving for as cheaply as possible. That is not correct grammar, but anyway, it uses the blue memory gain effects to do that, as well as memory choke, that is to pass as little memory to your opponent as possible, as much as possible. Omnimon's high DP means that it's not in danger from security Digimon counterattacking it, and it gets its powerful on-play removal and a second attack the first turn it attacks. Those are kind of the really, really big and main ones, but some other ones. Red doesn't really have a top end comparable to any of the meta decks, and it gets basically worse at being an Omnimon deck than blue, as it lacks blue's draw power and memory gain. Though, interestingly, red was played a lot more heavily at the start of the game when people didn't have as good an understanding. So, potentially, you could see, you could run red to some good success at the start of the game here. It does have the best removal in the game, though, and right now its most notable build is Tyrannomon Pierce. Black is a blocker-focused build, but due to that, it's a bit passive. Its other problem is that it has a really small card pool. Black actually wants to evolve up to level 6, whereas Purple, who has a similarly small card pool, bypasses that because it's a weenie rush deck whose good level 5s and level 6s have effects that can be used either from playing them directly through your hand, or are Beelzemon, who gets to evolve directly from a level 3 Impmon. Green just doesn't have any good top end. It evolves for significantly cheaper than any other colours. For example, in most colours you can only digivolve for 1 memory versus the usual 2 to 3. Oh, that is to say, you get what I'm saying. To level 4 using a vanilla. But green gets a vanilla and a separate card with an evolution source effect with a 1 memory evolution cost. Similarly, its keyword download allows it to digivolve to level 4 or 5 for free by resting something, which is crazy. This does include the thing you're evolving on top of, but doing it this way makes you a valid target, so mileage may vary. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Leave your thoughts on the Digimon card game or any questions you've got in the comment section down below. Sub to the channel. Once again, please hit that red button. Check the links in the description for everything I've talked about here today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.